Come closer, my dear. Not too close. I still value personal space at this age. You know, when you reach 80, closeness becomes emotional, not physical. My knees file formal complaints. You asked me something that's been sitting quietly in your heart, hasn't it? Paul, why do I feel lighter with fewer friends? Is something wrong with me? I smiled, a slow smile, the kind that comes only after decades of living, losing, loving, and finally letting go. Let me tell you something gently, like an old man placing a blanket over a sleeping truth. There is nothing wrong with you. In fact, you are finally doing something right. Tonight, I'll tell you why you don't need friends after 70, and why embracing independence may quietly become the happiest chapter of your life. Not loudly happy, not party happy, but deep, bone-warming, soul-settling happy. And don't worry, I'll tease you along the way. If I don't joke, I'll turn into furniture. Reason 1. After 70, solitude stops being lonely. It becomes sacred. When I was 40, being alone felt like failure. When I was 60, it felt uncomfortable. At 80, it feels like winning the lottery without the taxes. I wake up in silence now. Not the awkward silence of rejection, but the luxurious silence of choice. No alarms screaming like angry roosters, no conversations that start before my brain wakes up, no pretending to be interested in things I stopped caring about 20 years ago. Solitude after 70 isn't emptiness, it's room to breathe. I once sat for a full hour watching sunlight crawl across the floor, didn't check the time, didn't check my phone, didn't check anyone's expectations. And for the first time in my life, I felt rich. Reason 2. At this age, energy is precious, and friends cost energy. Let's be honest, my dear, and honesty after 70 becomes brutally refreshing. Many friendships turn into emotional labor. You meet for coffee and leave exhausted. You listen more than you speak. You absorb complaints like an unpaid therapist. Illness stories, family drama, old grudges reheated like leftovers no one wants. At our age, energy is no longer renewable. I remember walking home after meeting a longtime friend and thinking, I need a nap and possibly a new life. That's when it hit me. Peace is more important than politeness, and distancing yourself isn't cruelty, it's conservation. Reason 3. You no longer need witnesses to your life. When you're young, you need people to confirm your existence. You want someone to say, you matter, you're interesting, you belong. After 70, you already know. I no longer need an audience for my thoughts. I don't need approval for my choices. I don't need company to validate my worth. I laugh at my own jokes now, especially the terrible ones. I forgive myself quickly. I sit with my memories without defending them. The greatest relationship I've ever had is finally with myself. And trust me, it took 80 years to get here. Reason 4. Independence feels better than belonging ever did. Belonging sounds romantic when you're young. After 70, it starts to feel heavy. Group expectations, social obligations, forced smiles at gatherings you secretly dread. Independence, though? Independence tastes like fresh air. I eat when I want. I rest when I want. I cancel plans without guilt and sleep beautifully afterward. Once I declined an invitation and felt relieved instead of ashamed. That's when I knew I had graduated from social obligation. Independence isn't loneliness, it's self-respect with boundaries. Reason 5. Silence becomes more meaningful than conversation. You notice something strange after 70. Words lose their urgency. Silence gains depth. I sit quietly now, not because I have nothing to say, but because I finally know when silence speaks better. I reflect, I remember, I forgive. I talk to my younger self sometimes. I ask him why he worried so much. I tell him he survived. No friend could give me that conversation. A gentle pause, my dear. If this story is whispering truth into your heart, if you feel understood instead of judged, like this story, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel so more seniors feel less alone. Your small support keeps these stories alive and shared. Now, breathe, because what I'm about to tell you next about peace, popularity, and why happiness changes shape after 70 deserves its own quiet space. Ah, you're still here. Good. That tells me something about you already. You see, people who stay, who don't rush, who don't scroll away, are the ones who already understand what I'm talking about. They're tired of noise. They're hungry for meaning. Now let me finish what I started, my dear, and listen carefully, because this part is softer, deeper, and a little more dangerous to old beliefs. Reason 6. After 70, peace matters more than popularity. When I was younger, popularity felt like oxygen. Invitations, phone calls, being needed. Oh, how intoxicating that felt. But after 70, popularity starts to feel like a crowded room with no windows. Too many opinions, too many expectations, too many people needing pieces of you that you can no longer afford to give away. Peace, on the other hand, peace is waking up without dread. Peace is eating breakfast slowly. Peace is not explaining yourself to anyone. I stopped trying to be liked, and something miraculous happened. I started being free. The truth no one admits, many friendships are habit, not love. Let me tell you something that might sting, but only for a moment. Many friendships don't end because of conflict. They end because of clarity. You suddenly realize you're the one always calling. You're the one always listening. You're the one always adjusting. And one day, you don't feel angry. You just feel done. That's not bitterness. That's wisdom stretching its legs. After 70, you stop confusing history with obligation. Just because someone walked with you for years doesn't mean they deserve to walk with you forever. Why being alone after 70 is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness is wanting company and having none. Solitude is choosing yourself and enjoying the choice. Big difference. I sit alone now and feel full of memories, full of lessons, full of gratitude. I don't ache for conversation. I don't crave distraction. I finally enjoy the sound of my own breathing. And let me tell you something gently, my dear. People who fear being alone after 70 usually haven't made peace with themselves yet. When you do, solitude becomes a sanctuary. Independence teaches you how strong you really are. Independence isn't about rejecting people. It's about remembering yourself. I learned how capable I still am, how resilient, how resourceful. I learned I don't need constant reassurance. I don't need daily check-ins. I don't need to be surrounded to feel safe. I learned to trust my own company. And trust at this age is everything. A quiet secret.
The happiest seniors are often the most selective. Look closely at truly peaceful elders. They are not surrounded by crowds. They have one or two deep connections, maybe, or none at all, and that's okay. They protect their mornings. They protect their energy. They protect their peace. They don't explain themselves. They don't defend their choices. They don't apologize for wanting quiet. They've earned it. What you gain when you let go of unnecessary friendships. You gain time, rest, emotional clarity. You gain the ability to hear your own thoughts again. You gain joy without performance. And most importantly, you gain freedom without guilt. One more gentle pause. If this story feels like it's speaking for you, if you've ever felt judged for wanting less social noise, like this video, leave a comment. Your words may help another senior. Subscribe to the channel so these stories keep reaching hearts like yours. Your presence here matters more than you know. Final words from an old man who finally understood. My dear friend, you don't stop needing friends because you become cold. You stop needing them because you become complete. After 70, life stops asking you to prove anything. It invites you to rest, to reflect, to enjoy what remains without explanation. If you choose fewer friends or none at all, choose peace instead. Peace will sit with you in silence. Peace will never drain you. Peace will never leave you tired. And at 80, my dear, that's the richest companionship of all. Now go on. Close your eyes for a moment. Smile gently. You're doing just fine.